Tonight on the program, Thailand officially celebrates marriage equality. But what about the other laws to improve LGBTQ rights in the country? Then we have a special interview with the Singaporean ambassador to Thailand and the fascinating story of a successful makeup artist in London who tells us why he wants to move back to Thailand for good. สวัสดีค่ะ I'm Nad Bunag and welcome to This Week with Thai PBS World. Same-sex marriage is now officially legal in Thailand, and many LGBTQ couples have visited district offices across the country to register their marriages. Same-sex couples flock to district offices across Thailand to register their marriages as the landmark marriage equality bill comes into effect. This makes Thailand the first country in Southeast Asia and the third in Asia to legalize same-sex marriage. Many LGBTQ couples told us that they are happy that marriage equality is officially legal in Thailand so that they can finally enjoy fundamental rights as a married couple.
Today we are so very happy, and then we don't know how to express it because this is very important for us. Like, she is single mom and I'm trans man. We planning for our future as well, or maybe sometime in case of the accident, like for example, if her son got accident, I can sign for big operations, and then for her as well. Maybe because her mom staying not in Bangkok, so once she has accident as well, I can sign for her.
I think for the healthy and the tax or everything in Thailand we have, because in Thailand we have to pay the tax, right? But if I marry to her, we have less of tax. And for the healthy in the hospital, right? I need to sign for her in the court book to register for surgery in the hospital. Yes, very excited from the Thailand, and step one from the Thailand to be proud because we have Southeast Asia, the first one, right? We need to first one in the country, in the Bangkok too.
Initially, Thailand aimed to break the world record for the largest group LGBTQ marriage registration. Wadao Anchumapon, a prominent activist for LGBTQ rights and marriage equality, says, however, that what is far more important than breaking the world record is to keep the momentum going.
ตอนนี้มันผ่านสถิติโลกไปเรียบร้อยแล้วอะค่ะแต่ที่สำคัญก็คือว่าโลกมันไม่เคยบันทึกอะว่าคู่รัก LGBT มันจดทะเบียนเยอะที่สุดเท่าไหร่เราคิดว่าปรากฏการณ์ของประเทศไทยมากกว่าสถิติของโลกที่มันทำลายไปเรียบร้อยแล้วเนี่ยมันคือการส่งกำลังใจไปยังประเทศที่ยังไม่มีสมรสเท่าเทียมหรือไม่มีกฎหมายรับรองว่าเนี่ยมันคือพลังที่จะเกิดขึ้นต่อไปขออนุญาตบอกว่าประเทศไทยเปิดประตูสำหรับเซาท์อีสต์เอเชียและเอเชียเราจะทำงานร่วมกันกับเพื่อน LGBT จากทุกประเทศเพื่อทำให้ LGBT หรือว่าความเท่าเทียมทางเพศนั้นมันเกิดขึ้นในทุกพื้นแผ่นดิน
มันนอกจากจะรักกันได้แบบไม่มีเพศแล้วอะเรายังถูกโอบกอดด้วยกฎหมายอะค่ะซึ่งมันเป็นสิ่งสำคัญนะในการอยู่ในประเทศแล้วเราเป็นแบบพลเมืองอะค่ะไม่ว่าเราจะทำอะไรอยู่ที่ไหนเราควรมีกฎหมายในการอุ้มเราอยู่อะแต่ซึ่งวันนี้มันได้มาแล้วอะแล้วมันครอบคลุมทุกคนไม่ได้เว้นเพศเลยวันนี้สำคัญมากดีใจค่ะดีใจมาก
As the marriage equality law comes into effect, this means individuals of all genders who are over 18 years old can register their marriage and receive the same benefits and rights as heterosexual couples. This also means that LGBTQ individuals will also have the right to make medical decisions for their spouses. At the same time, they can also represent their partners in legal processes and claim spousal benefits. Moreover, this is actually good news for LGBTQ couples who want to start a family because they now have the right to adopt a child. Even though marriage equality is finally legal in Thailand, there are, however, still many other laws that the LGBTQ community want to see being amended. One such law is the gender affirmation law. Currently, the honorifics for LGBTQ individuals are still restricted to their sex at birth, either Mr. or Miss. So what they really want to see is a lot law that allows them to change their gender honorifics in official documents without the need to go through sex reassignment surgeries or mental health checkups. This has already been done in many other countries such as Argentina and Malta. Another is the surrogacy law. The current law restricts surrogacy rights to males and females, one of whom must be a Thai national. They must be married to each other at least for 3 years, and whoever becomes a surrogate mother must be a relative of the couple. And another aspect that is yet to be clarified is the redefinition of first parents, or in Thai we call it บุพการีลำดับแรก, which was shot down in Parliament last year. Currently, the Thai law only recognizes who is a mother or a father, and this is quite problematic for LGBTQ families when it comes to submitting documents to prove their parental status. Therefore, the term first parent is significant for LGBTQ couples, not only because they want it to be less gender specific, but also because it would ensure the parental rights just like other couples. And apart from these laws, there could be others that might need to be amended in line with gender diversity, such as the labor law. And another issue that is yet to be resolved is the access to health care for LGBTQ individuals. In the past, medical procedures such as sex reassignment surgeries or even mental health consultations were seen as stigmatizing. Although there have been some improvements, challenges remain. So what are the remaining loopholes in medical care for LGBTQ individuals? Our reporter Warisara Sahan has more details.
Thailand is the first country in Southeast Asia to pass equal marriage law, which comes into effect this week. And other related laws are catching up to support the rights of LGBTQ people. And one of them is in the area of healthcare.
Thailand's largest healthcare program is the Universal Coverage Scheme. It provides a wide range of medical services and comprehensive benefit packages, such as medical treatments and preventive services for all Thai citizens. For gender transition procedures, there is, however, no clear policy or health program covering, for example, hormone prescriptions in gender-affirming care service packages.
ปัจจุบันประเทศเรายังไม่มีนโยบายเรื่องสุขภาพของคนข้ามเพศหรือคนที่เป็น LGBT ที่ชัดเจนนะคะเพราะฉะนั้นเนี่ยมันก็จริงๆแล้วมันจะไม่มีสถานบริการไหนเลยที่มันเกิดขึ้นมาจากนโยบายจากส่วนกลางสมมติว่ามันมีโรงพยาบาลหรือว่ามีคลินิกเอกชนเนี้ยก็แน่นอนมันมาจากการทำธุรกิจของหน่วยงานนั้นๆองค์กรนั้นๆนะคะ
Certainly, gender transition procedures and services are offered in many private healthcare institutes these days, but not everyone can access them or afford the price. As a result, many trans people decide to buy hormone medications without medical advice.
พี่น้องกลุ่มนี้ก็จะมีบางคนเหมือนกันที่เขาอาจจะต้องการมีการปรับเปลี่ยนร่างกายนะคะแล้วก็ใช้ชีวิตตามอัตลักษณ์หรือเพศภายในใจของเขาอย่างเงี้ยค่ะซึ่งบางทีเขาอาจจะต้องมีการใช้ยามีการผ่าตัดอย่างเงี้ยค่ะหรือที่เราเรียกกันว่าเป็นการข้ามเพศนะคะซึ่งอันเนี้ยมันจะต้องเข้าสู่กระบวนการทางการแพทย์นะคะ
Kritima supports the principles of the World Health Organization after the organization developed guidelines for healthcare for LGBTQ+ individuals, including access to health services with no discrimination, especially in the areas of gender affirmation care and training guidelines for medical staff.
ก็ต้องบอกว่ามนุษย์ทุกคนนะคะมีสิทธิมนุษยชนพื้นฐานที่ควรจะเข้าถึงบริการสุขภาพนะคะไม่ว่าจะเป็นบริการสุขภาพแบบไหนประเด็นไหนก็ตามซึ่งเรื่องของการเข้าถึงบริการสุขภาพเพื่อการข้ามเพศก็ถือเป็นหนึ่งในชุดบริการนะคะ
For years, Kitima, along with the trans community, trans organizations, human rights-based organizations, as well as groups of medical and multidisciplinary professionals, have pushed for this to be included in the national health security provision. One of their toughest missions is raising LGBTQ health awareness in society. What is more challenging, though, is to convince and address the understanding of trans health in many sectors and governmental agencies.
จริงๆมันก็เหมือนกับการที่เราต้องอาจจะมีการเรียนรู้หารือกันในแทบทุกๆขั้นตอน เพราะว่าหลายๆฝ่ายก็ยังอาจจะขาดประสบการณ์เรื่องนี้ไม่เข้าใจอย่างเงี้ยค่ะ
Kritima and her networks have worked to get gender-affirming care services included in the National Health Coverage Program. These gender-affirming care services strongly prioritize better health for transgender individuals, both physically and mentally, and the process has almost been completed, Kritima said.
การเอานโยบายนี้มาทำให้เกิดขึ้นจริงค่ะมันจริงๆมันเป็นประโยชน์กับในเชิงของระบบสาธารณสุขสุขภาพคนด้วยซึ่งจริงๆแล้วถ้าเรามองแค่ว่าถ้าจะเราลงทุนเรื่องนี้หรือจะมาทำงานเรื่องนี้มันช่วยพัฒนาคุณภาพชีวิตนะส่วนตัวเราคิดว่าจริงๆแล้วมันคุ้มค่ามากๆ
Recently, Public Health Minister Somsat Thepsutin announced that the allocation of budget for gender-affirming care services has already been approved. The matter will now be handed to related agencies to handle. Warisala Sahan reporting for Thai PBS World.
Turning to another important issue, air pollution in Bangkok has been at unhealthy levels throughout the past week, and the City Hall has imposed measures to tackle air pollution, including working from home. But another group that are also affected are foreign tourists. Our reporter Kitipat Sukjit talked to some of the visitors about whether air pollution has disrupted their travel plans in and around the city.
Bangkok is known for its landmarks and excitement, but lately, the city is also getting a reputation for something else, its declining air quality. PM 2.5 refers to fine particles in the air that can cause serious health problems. This week, the PM 2.5 levels in Bangkok have been potentially harmful to health, and the city became one of the 5 most polluted cities in the world, according to IQ Air. This has prompted city authorities to roll out emergency measures, such as encouraging people to work from home. For foreign tourists, this has added an unexpected twist to their travel experience. Many were not prepared for the challenges posed by Bangkok's air pollution.
It's like any other big city in Southeast Asia, I guess, and in Asia in general, because it's very populated, the traffic is heavy, so of course there's going to be pollution as well.
Right now I'm not too concerned. I mean, I saw it in the news. I was talking to some friends about it. I have friends that are currently traveling in Vietnam, where there's also a lot of air pollution. I have a friend who's traveling by bicycle through Asia. He had to change his whole route because I think if you're inside most of the day and you come out, you go maybe 1-2 train station, it's not as bad. But if you're outside the whole day, yeah, I would certainly think about it. Yeah.
For some foreign tourists we spoke to, they don't see PM 2.5 as an obstacle to traveling around Bangkok.
I think in big city around the world, it's normal to have pollution, you know. So I think it's normal there is pollution in Bangkok, but we can wear a mask or something else, you know. So, but it's good. It's good.
No, for me it's not interfering with my travel plans. I'm only here for a few days, and I'm still enjoying Bangkok so far. You know, big cities is always a bit more pollution than other places, but yeah, certainly if you blow your nose in the evening, yeah, you see the results.
If you want to come to Asia, if you want to see the big cities, I mean, it can be an obstacle for somebody who has health issues. I'm so far not experiencing any difficulties at the moment, so I'm fine. And I have, like I told you, I have asthma, so I thought I was gonna have some trouble breathing, but I'm absolutely fine. Maybe because it's the too much excitement about being in Bangkok, so maybe that's it.
While these tourists seem to be managing well, the health risks of prolonged exposure to PM 2.5 cannot be ignored. Experts warn that these fine particles can penetrate deep into the lungs, causing respiratory issues, heart problems, and can exacerbate existing conditions like asthma or allergies. Many of Bangkok's most popular attractions, like temples and outdoor markets, require visitors to spend hours outside. Prolonged exposure to the polluted air can make sightseeing less enjoyable and, in some cases, even dangerous. City authorities are aware of the issue and have taken steps, such as spraying water to reduce dust levels and encouraging the use of public transport. Tackling the root causes like vehicle emissions and industrial pollution will, however, require long-term solutions. It's clear that Bangkok's air pollution is of growing concern, not just for its residents but also for its visitors. The question remains, what more can be done to protect everyone from the harmful effects of PM 2.5? Kittipathun Sukjit, reporting for Thai PBS World.
And we all have to admit that the air pollution in Bangkok has been really bad throughout the week. And now let's have a look at the other stories making headlines throughout the week in our weekly roundup.
Prime Minister Paetongtarn Shinawatra posted an AI-generated video of herself speaking in Mandarin, encouraging Chinese tourists to visit the country. The AI version of Paetongtarn acknowledged safety concerns among Chinese nationals amid reports of kidnapping by human trafficking gangs along the Thai-Myanmar border, insisting that the Thai government makes the safety of all tourists their utmost priority. A group of protesters filed a petition calling on the Prime Minister to separate her father-daughter relationship from the running of the country. They also claim that Thaksin Shinawatra's evasion of his prison sentence has undermined the country's justice system and demonstrated his influence over it. They also demanded that the government scrap its plan to establish entertainment complexes, which include casinos. Police rescued 3 baby orangutans being smuggled from Indonesia through Malaysia into Thailand from a vehicle in Chumphon province. The seizure of the great apes follows intelligence received by the Department of National Parks, Wildlife and Plant Conservation from the US Fish and Wildlife Service. Thai immigration police have not received any instructions to repatriate 48 Uyghurs who have been held in Thai detention centers for a decade back to China. The issue of Uyghur detainees has drawn widespread attention once again, as international human rights organizations and activists call on Thai authorities to halt any planned transfers, warning that the group could face persecution if returned.
And 2025 marks an important year for Thailand and Singapore, commemorating 60 years of diplomatic ties. The Embassy of Singapore to Thailand has launched a new logo to celebrate the long-lasting relationship. In an exclusive interview with Thai PBS World, the Singaporean ambassador noted that Her Royal Highness Princess Sirianthorn's visit to Singapore earlier this month has further deepened the cooperation between the two countries. Frank Han-Chi has more details.
A new logo featuring a combination of a lion and an elephant symbolizes the 60th anniversary of diplomatic relations between Thailand and Singapore. Created by a Thai artist who won the design competition, it cleverly integrates the national flag's symbolic animals and the number 60 for the theme of strong at 60, standing for Singapore-Thailand, realizing opportunities for new growth. In an exclusive interview with Thai PBS World, the ambassador of Singapore to Thailand highlighted the significance of the enduring ties between two countries.
To mark the 60th anniversary this year, the embassy actually has been very busy, working very hard to organize a series of activities, events to commemorate the occasion. And we started off by organizing a logo design competition. This was towards the end of last year. The logo is meant to mark the 60th anniversary. We received a healthy number of entries, I think a good 70 over entries from both Singaporean as well as Thai participants. We have found a winning design, and in fact later this week on Friday, the embassy is organizing a reception where we will unveil this winning design and officially launch the use of the logo for all our commemorative activities that will be happening.
To commemorate the friendship, Singaporean Prime Minister Lawrence Wong visited his Thai counterpart Paetongtarn Shinawatra to further reinforce cooperation with a particular focus on the digital economy and carbon credit trading. Her Royal Highness Princess Sirinthaorn visited Singapore. The ambassador noted that Prime Minister Wong was honored to discuss renewable energy and food security with the princess, adding that education is another key area where both countries can enhance bilateral ties.
I think it speaks volume of the importance and the priority that both countries place on the relationship. The two prime ministers had a wide-ranging discussion to take stock of what we're currently doing in terms of our bilateral cooperation. But at the same time, they have also identified several new and emerging areas of cooperation that the two countries can work together, specifically in the area of the digital economy, in carbon credits trading. There was a lot of discussion too about how the two sides can work together on the area of food security. And during the visit, the two prime ministers also witnessed the signing of a memorandum of understanding on postgraduate scholarships for Thai civil servants. This builds on the very long-standing cooperation that we've had and the exchanges that we've had between the two respective civil services.
Ambassador Wong emphasized that Thailand and Singapore have always supported each other's development, noting that climate change and sustainability are pressing issues over which both nations can collaborate on effective solutions. While geopolitical issues have heightened tensions, the ambassador suggested that ASEAN members cultivate connectivity and integration to tackle volatility and uncertainties in other parts of the world.
The world today, is grown increasingly volatile and uncertain. There is intensifying great power rivalry. A war in Europe that is still ongoing. It's been more than 2 years now. A lot of unrest in the Middle East, and also some of the potential flashpoints right here in our region, whether it is the Taiwan Straits, the South China Sea, and even the situation in Myanmar. So we are a small country, and we have always our approach has always been that we're not a price setter. We are a price taker. We cannot change the external environment. We cannot dictate what the great powers do. We cannot control, what is happening around in the world. But what we can do is that, we can focus on our own integration. And when I say our, it means, ASEAN. It's increasingly important in order to buffer our economies against all these potential external shocks and external pressures and all the uncertainties. It's even more important that we double down on our integration efforts and on our efforts to basically increase the connectivity among the countries in the region.
Feng Kan-shi reporting for Thai PBS World.
And now in this episode of Home Away, we talked to Dominic Paul, who was adopted by British parents as an infant. He shared his journey of growing up in a predominantly white area on the outskirts of London, facing racism, and how he turned these challenges into strengths, becoming a successful makeup artist. He also tells us why he wants to move back to Thailand for good.
My name is Dominic. I am 33 from London, and I am adopted from Thailand when I was 6 months old.
He was born with the name Duang Thanarin, which was later changed to Dominic Paul Griff. Dominic was a dream come true for his adoptive parents, who were unable to conceive. They had always hoped to provide a loving and warm home to children in need, giving them a second chance.
I asked my parents the reason why they adopted us. So for my parents, they struggled to fall pregnant naturally, and conceive biological children of their own, and unfortunately, the pregnancies that they had just didn't work out. But in that time, they also wanted, as well as their own, is to adopt as well. So, there are kids all over the world that need homes, and they thought if they could give a child from Thailand a second chance, then they would do that. So they adopted 3 children.
Dominic was raised alongside his siblings, who were from Ecuador and Thailand, in a loving home in a small village in Kent, on the southeastern outskirts of London. Because that area is predominantly white, Dominic and his sister were the only non-white kids in their school, making them the targets of racial discrimination.
It was just 2 Asians, and that was me and my sister. And you did get naivety of people saying things derogatory towards you, and especially in a white area. But this is like 30 years ago. You had this, the country is very different to what it used to be. But back then, it was quite brutal. You would go out and you would get stared at. So I think it probably was because of where I was brought up location-wise, is why I got quite a lot of racism. And it was hard.
Despite facing hurtful racism during his childhood, he chose not to tell his protective parents, fearing their reaction would escalate the situation. Instead, he tried to solve it alone, turning to cosmetics to change his appearance to blend in. This difficult experience ultimately strengthened his self-awareness and made him a stronger person.
I thought if I just kept my head down and tried to fit in, then I would sort of get under the radar. But that's the thing I think racism can do, is backfire, is because I was raised in a very white area, I wanted to look and be a certain way so that I didn't stick out so much. I think that's why even to this day it's affected me in the way that I look. I have to look a particular way, like I wear coloured contact lenses, I wear makeup. I've had some alterations done to my face to westernize my look so I fit in more. It's a funny one because I didn't think back then it did affect me, but I think especially with people that I speak to nowadays, they say you have done things as the years have gone on and your 33 years of being on the planet to fit into the Western world, which is quite sad, I think.
His early attempts to westernize his appearance influenced his career path, leading him to become a successful makeup artist. After 15 years in the industry, he established his own cosmetics brand. And this year, he is returning to the land of his birth and intends to settle here permanently.
But one thing I should say is, when I started to come to Thailand, I then found this connection, not to want to find my birth family, but the connection to learn the Thai way, if that makes sense. It's a weird feeling. I've always said in the years I've been coming back, I feel at home here. I don't feel out of place. So, it's definitely in the blood, isn't it?
Dominic emphasizes that many children need loving homes. He encourages financially stable couples to consider giving a child a second chance and the love they need and deserve. His crucial advice for raising adoptive children is to be transparent from the start. Telling them the truth at a young age creates an open foundation for building love and trust between a child and their adoptive parents. He hopes other orphan children will have the same life-changing opportunity.
And that's a very fascinating story indeed. And that wraps up tonight's edition of This Week with Thai PBS World. Join us every Friday at 10:30 p.m. only on Thai PBS. And don't forget to follow us on social media and our website, thaipbsworld.com, for all the latest updates about Thailand as well as analyses. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week. สวัสดีค่ะ
สารรอบโลกให้คุณไม่พลาดทุกความเคลื่อนไหวครบเรื่องทันโลกได้ทุกที่ทุกเวลากับมินนี่ ณัฐชา กิจโมกในทุกช่องทางออนไลน์ของทันโลกกับไทย PBS